Tactical nuke incoming!
What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we're taking a look at a Season 20 build for the Necromancer and what I probably think will be the best T16 and bounty build for the Necro. Now mages will probably be a little bit quicker, but this offers quite a lot of extra toughness. Not so important for T16, but very handy for bounties, and it's just a bit something different if you're a bit fed up of playing mages repeatedly. Really easy to set up, gearing requirements are pretty low, you don't need ancients in every slot. I've got 800 Paragon, no augments, gems not even maxed out, and T16, as I'll show you in a few minutes, is you just blow it apart like paper, and it's a lot of fun. So this is the Necro Nuker, and we're just going to nuke the screen repeatedly, so yeah, very nice. So starting us off, it's a Legacy of Dreams build. Ideally you would have the gem at 99, but on PTR we're pressed for time, so I'm just basically sticking this out as it is. Now if you do get this at max 99 stacks, and you do get every piece ancient, you're going to get yourself a 9750% modifier. Obviously pretty big and pretty handy. Now the damage reduction will only really be applicable and important for bounties. For T16 it doesn't matter because we're going to take Gold Wrap and Boon of the Hoarder, so those two things will make us immortal. But in general, if you do get all slots as Ancient with the Legacy of Dreams, you're going to get 52% damage reduction, so one layer, pretty handy. Now the build is going to revolve around Death Nova. We're actually going to manually cast it, it just makes it a lot smoother to play. You can do a generator version of this, I might cover that for a GR 90-95 speed farm once I get it completely geared out, but I do actually prefer casting it. So we've gone for Blight, which is the poison rune, and we're going to juice the absolute nuts out of this Death Nova, it's crazy. So we're going to take the Blood Tide Blade, obviously this is just essential for Death Nova. 400% increased damage for every enemy within 25 yards. You can get so many enemies in, this multiplier it just goes through the roof with density. Scythe of the Cycle, the Nova is a secondary skill, so another 400% multiplier. Just make sure Bone Armor is on your bar and active at all times. You can, if you overspam the Novas, drop Bone Armor, but it's on a pretty short cooldown, so you can get it back pretty quickly. And then lastly in the cube, we've also gone for Nair's Black Death. Now often this will only give us 200% damage from the Nova and also from Dislocation, because both of those are poison. But we do actually have Corpse Lance Ricochet on poison as well, so in theory you can get to 3 stacks, you just need to make sure that you stop to cast your Corpse Lance. But you'll see from the footage you don't really need to do that, you can just simply leave it at 2 stacks and it's fine. Multiplier wise, we're also going to have Tragul's Corrosive Fang. This is going to give us up to 200% on cursed enemies. As you can see, this is not well rolled, 7% damage, low roll on the curse multiplier. That or the Scythe of the Cycle can go on the character. The two-handers obviously both have to go in the cube. Obviously making pretty good use of the season theme here as well. We've got Crispin Sentence, always in a Necro build, double damage against slowed enemies and then triple that damage against stunned enemies. So if you do get your Bone Armor off, you're going to be dealing even more damage, but pretty much just the kind of slowing effect of this is probably enough for damage. Albeit when we do get to the Rift Guardian, you're going to pop Land of the Dead, Infinite Corpses and Corpse Lance, and you'll melt the Rift Guardian pretty quick. Now obviously if there is trash about, you will be able to Death Nova the Rift Guardian pretty effectively. But other than that, that's kind of how it works. Death Nova for any kind of density, 2-3 monsters upwards. If you do need any single target damage, there should be some corpses around from enemies you've killed. You can Corpse Lance, and if you want to, you can use Land of the Dead to get infinite corpses. So that's all kind of how the build works. Offhand wise, you just want anyone with good stats, so just for the damage basically, so good damage roll on a crit hit chance, but any of them will do. Shoulders, I've gone for homing pads. This just means that at the end of the T16 Rift you can cast your town portal and not be interrupted. In theory, and if you're going to do bounties or GRs, then I would say that the Corpse Whisper Pauldrons would be better. They'll give you another multiplier on your Corpse Lance, albeit for T16 you don't really need it. Gloves is totally open, just pick an ancient pair with double crit on there. Chest piece again, completely open. You can get Corpse Lance damage if you want as a roll, not essential at all. You could take any chest piece you want. In theory, best in slot would be gold skin because that will give you extra gold, but doesn't much matter. Leoric's Crown, again, helm is completely open. You can pick any ancient helm you want. I've just gone for this to get extra gold, so I'll get 81% extra gold out of this for key farming, which is quite nice. Trousers, again, completely and utterly open. In theory, best in slot would be a set of Swamplands from Witch Doctor. I just can't be bothered going to get one. Any ancient pants will do you just fine. Boots, essential, Stuart's Greaves. When you teleport, you can run around really quickly. Lovely item for speed farming and for the Necro in general. Avarice Band, again, pretty essential I'd say, just to make sure that you are picking up gold at the most efficient rate. So this will just vortex gold in towards your character. Nemesis Braces, again essential, you want to be spawning champions off pylons, again help with progression. And then Flavour of Time, I just love this item as a speed thing. It just means that if you get a pylon for speed, you will run really quickly for about a minute, which is nice. Again, in theory, Johnstone might help because that would buff up Corpse Lance, but for T16 you really don't need it, so pretty much that's what we've gone for. So in terms of Ancients, we're missing 2, Boots and Ring, but the rest of it I think is Ancient, albeit I was doing T16 pretty comfortably with a couple missing. You can always swap the homing pads out if you are struggling with any single target damage, as I say, to put the Corpse Whisperers in. But other than that, pretty good. In terms of gems, you obviously want intelligence gems in your chest and pants. Again, I've been lazy, not rolled these up, so I might do that before we do the footage. But other than that, guys, it's pretty simple and straightforward. You just need your Crispies. Your weapons are dead easy to get. There's only 4 two-handers in the pool, only 4 one-handed scythes, and then the rest of it, cobble it together. Doesn't much matter. So skills-wise, Death Never Blight, we just want to hit for poison. You know, the only other poison rune on here is Unstable Compound. Don't see there's much point in that because outside of the 25-yard radius you're not benefiting from Blood type Blade, so there isn't much point hitting any further, so Blight just seems you may as well take the damage reduction. For Corpse Lance Ricochet, we have to take it for poison, 20% chance that we'll hit another target. It's a single target skill anyway, so again that effect doesn't really much matter. Bone Armor Dislocation, another stack of poison, it'll stun enemies, so the Crispy will give us the triple procs. 30% damage reduction for Bounties is handy. Frailty Aura Frailty, we want to get a curse off for our Tragul's Corroded Fang. This will actually increase depending on our pickup radius, so that's quite handy. That pairs really well with Spreading Malediction and the Avarice Band, because the further out our pickup radius goes, the more cursed enemies we get, so we do eke out a bit more damage. Again, not that we really need it. Land of the Dead Frozen Lands. This is here for Corpse Lance, so if you do get to the Rift Guardian, there's no other enemies about, pop this, Corpse Lance, end of Rift Guardian, should be quite straightforward. And then Blood Rush, I've got this on Potency, I probably shouldn't have it on that, I probably should have it on Metabolism for an extra charge, or Molting to leave a corpse, but my bad. But yeah, doesn't matter, you're just using this to proc your Stuart's Greaves really. Passives wise, Final Service, just in case you run out of gold and something goes wrong. I've gone for Overwhelming Essence because Death Nova is still a spender, so it's handy to have that little bit of extra essence, but by all means you can swap this. Dark Reaping, again 2% essence per kill is what we're after here. We can blast through quite a lot of enemies quickly and mean that we're pretty much at full essence most of the way, and Spreading Malediction we've gone over. So let's take it for a spin and see how it does.
Tactical nuke ready for launch. Tactical nuke incoming!
It's quite good fun to build to play, so I'll normally just run in, activate the Burn Armor and the Land of the Dead, and as you can see this is just really easy, super easy mode. Just right click whenever you want to stop and blow up some enemies. Now I have tried working Brig's Wrath into this so that we can get a vortexing effect for enemies. It does work, it's just you've got to drop a multiplier to get that ring in, and at the moment I don't quite have the damage, so maybe with the gem leveled up to max, maybe with all of the augments and that kind of stuff, you would be in a position where you can take Brig's Wrath and make things a little bit lazier. But to be honest, I mean, you don't really need the effect. As you can see, if anything gets close, it's pretty much just getting vaporized, so you know, pretty good. So I'll probably skip to the Rift Guardian now, just because, you know, watching me do a T16 Rift probably isn't the best use of your time. I'll go over some swaps for the bounty build, and then we'll take it from there. Well guys, not the best map in the world, but here's the Rift Guardian, so we'll pop Land of the Dead, and we're just gonna click, 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 click. I think you can hold it down actually, and yeah. Would be obviously be quicker with the Corpse Whisper Pauldrons, but I just like being able to do this and teleport back without being interrupted, so it's pretty handy. So, you know, there we go. Right, now for bounties, what I would do is I would dump the gold wrap, because you don't really want to be relying on that for your toughness, and take a Dainty's Binding. This is obviously on the presumption that you're going to want to actually kill the bosses. If you're not bothered about that, I'd just run the T16 build. I probably would put the Corpse Whisper Pauldrons in just for bosses, because you're going to be fighting a single target quite a bit of the time, I've just switched the gloves out to St. Archie's Gauge just to get a shield. Again, not really necessary, but I thought I might as well. And then we're going to take a Unity. So we're basically adding in 50% damage reduction from the Dainties, 50% damage reduction from the Unity. I've also got an Aquila Cuirass, so again another 50% damage reduction. This is handy for bosses, so a boss you'll have all of these layers up, you should be at max essence, you just pop Land of the Dead and you'll Corpse Lance melt the boss down pretty quickly. Again, I've left in the gold gem, but you can swap that out for cooldown if you just want a little bit of a quicker run, that's absolutely fine. Again, you can also take powerful if you're not asked about gold instead of the boon of the hoarder, but we'll just take this one for a spin, again just to kind of show that it does work. Now I've swapped the offhand, I don't know why, that's just loaded up on my build, but again completely doesn't matter, just something with nice stats. So we'll jump in and we'll do should we do 75 and show you that this works pretty well as well.
Tactical nuke ready for launch.
Again, it's the same thing, teleport, run really quickly, bone armor off, Land of the Dead up, and then that's it, we are away. Now, again, in theory, you can go higher with this, you just need to make sure you're getting your stacks off for your poison for your next Black Death, and I think I swapped Unity for Siri, and I could do 88 in about 3 minutes with this exact build. But I want to find a Johnstone because I've got a sneak feeling that I can probably get up to maybe 90-95 with like a 3-4 minute Nova build, and that's pretty exciting for the Necro, so I would like to test that. But this game I've absolutely hammered the PCR and I just can't get a Johnstone. I do need to stick on the forums that we need the Johnstone in the Necro goodie bag because it's just a bit silly that you can't get it. But as you can see guys, timer, you know, I mean just look how easy this is. I know it's only 75, but this is exactly what a bounty would look like, just waltzing around it. And as I say, I think we've got this up to 88 3 minutes without a Johnstone, so you know this is powerful, and it's so much fun to play. It's just like, you know, nuking stuff, just blowing it up like squish squish. It's very therapeutic. If you just want to pop some enemies, it's I could play this build all day long. It is so much fun. Squish. I mean, skeletons are perfect. Just look at this. Really good. But anyway, guys, that's probably enough of this. So we'll skip out of this and get on to the next part of the video. So that's it, guys. That's the T16 and Bounty Nova Nuker. I'm going to build up a GR speed version, and I'll probably do a full in-depth guide on that because, as I say, I'm kind of hopeful that we can get it certainly past 90, maybe up to 95. We'll have to see how it works out with the Johnstone. I really want one on PTR and I just can't find one. So I'll say my prayers to RNGesus, maybe I'll get it to drop in the next few days, but we'll just have to do our best. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video, I hope you liked the build. A thumbs up is always greatly appreciated. And other than that, guys, I'll be back very soon with some more content. Take it easy. Peace.